Thank you everyone for joining this evening for the CTO dinner. Today I want to talk a little bit about some topics that hopefully are a little bit thought-provoking, so you are not running out of topics to discuss tonight and are maybe a little bit more niche to what you usually see as buzzwords in the press. So Merantix can be very confusing. Merantix is everywhere, like there's Merantix Campus, there's Merantix Capital, and there's Merantix Momentum. So we all think about ecosystems, and part of this ecosystem is Momentum. We do professional services for the industry and bring all the accumulated knowledge of AI to everybody out there, or drag them into the ecosystem, actually. And we're doing this already for a couple of years in over 150 projects. We do strategy consulting, corporate research, but also tailor-made solutions where we implement something where there's no product yet, or maybe never will be. And I want to give you a few examples of things that we see in the world where we think these trends, tech trends, get more and more important based on examples we have done in pharma, which is one of our biggest client sectors. Why is pharma and healthcare so interesting? Because you can take your whole toolbox of AI methods, problems, and so on, and apply it to the whole chain of healthcare. From drug development, you can help in finding better candidates for substances, for drugs. You can use it in precision medicine, for example, finding the right literature for a specific client and the right substance that helps this specific patient. You can use it in diagnostics, like you've all been at the doctor, have had a CT or whatever, or here in histopathology, which I like very much. I even did a PhD in that because you have very large images and you have to play like find Waldo, but to help a person actually, or like to find the toxicity of a drug in like fluorescence microscopy, what you see in the right. And all of these tasks can be augmented and improved by AI. But we often forget that maybe we aim for full automation, but there is actually a potential synergy of what you can do with the power of humans and with the power of AI. So I want to illustrate this on this example. So this is a system we built for Boehringer Ingelheim. They have to look at videos of rodents at a very large scale to figure out should you give these substances to humans or better not. And this is a very sequential task. You have to look through this video and detect very rare behavior. So we built the system where a human can describe behavior they are looking for, and the system over time learns to detect that behavior more and more in an automated way. So first it's a manual approach, then it shows you just snippets of things where it wants to have feedback, until it can do the annotation completely autonomously. And these kind of systems, they are not unique to this one company. So here we have like a time series where we want to see the patterns. And we basically want to learn from these time series something that we can translate also to other systems to make these interactive systems more efficient, since if you know more about what kind of patterns are out there from a foundation model, for example, you can more easily fine-tune it to your problem at hand. And we see this in 3 areas. This was just an illustrative example. One is for tabular data, very active field right now. We also wrote this white paper, if you want to deep dive into it, to have better representations of structured data, so you can quickly learn a model for structured data in the wild and have something better than XGBoost or CutBoost or whatever you're using today. Second is time series, actually a very challenging modality because it's probably not just one modality, but stuff like the example I showed before benefits a lot from learning priors from other experiments so that you more quickly find these patterns with fewer annotations. And last but not least is everything around AI for science, especially PDEs. These kind of simulations are super expensive, and just learning faster what kind of, for example, designs you want to try out, or what kind of drugs or crystal structures you want to try out in the world and iterate faster is something a lot of people desire. And we see not only large corporates be interested in this, but also lots of new startups popping up in the field. We are also partnering with. And coming back to this human AI synergy, I want to give you a second example, which is document review. Because a lot of the document review cases we see, for example, in legal and compliance, don't allow for errors. And you also don't have really training data. So just applying the same mechanism that we used for video data to documents also gives you the best of both worlds. So you start with digitalizing the process after the system learns by examples of humans to take over more and more tasks, and for everything where it can't take over, the human does the job. So we also see this a lot, that there are these semi-automated systems where you really need high accuracy and errors are not allowed, but you can achieve a very new way of usability experience by combining the advantages of humans and of AI algorithms. And this shifts the border from humans use AIs as tools more to you co-create something with AI. And I wanted to give you a little bit different flavor of what you maybe see every day on your LinkedIn news, like agents on MCP. This is out there, but there also exist other systems like I showed before, where it's quite relevant to build the right user experience for all of these. And at some point, for these critical systems, we probably also see more AI interactions, where we have to rethink again, how do we make this safe and scalable for the critical applications that we want to automatize. And we are looking into that as well. Another interesting thing is a shift towards more prescriptive AI. So here on the left, you see an example of a tool we built for social media listening. For example, if you bring out a drug to the market, you have to look at side effects that people are reporting, for example, on social media. A tool like that can help here. But this is detecting trends and maybe forecasting trends. But what we see, I don't have like an example for the wild I can talk about. But what you want is to analyze corner cases, especially, and for that you want to make scenario-based decision planning. So you have some understanding of how your, for example, time series gets rolled out. You want to do an intervention and want to see what kind of effect does my action has, and then analyze or find specific interventions that lead to the result that you desire, or don't lead to the result that you don't desire, depending on your problem. And we see more and more of these kind of problems getting from more theoretical approaches in academia to real-world applications that people are actually using. So 3 things today. One is we have foundation models. You all know it for LLMs, but there are many more emerging. So maybe ask your neighbor today what kind of models they already know or exploring. I think this is quite exciting. The second is this human-AI interaction. I think we have to rethink a lot of UIs we are using today, how we can make it ready for the next generation of automation. And lastly, this trend of prescriptive AI in the wild, I see as something super exciting because it helps us not just forecasting one solution, but exploring a lot of solutions and then do better database decision making. And with that, I'm done and happy to take your questions.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Jay, co-founder at TextCortex. I'm going to keep this short because I believe that everyone's hungry, so we'll take the minimum amount of time. So I would like, before getting into the system prompts, I would like to talk a little bit about the company so that you know what we are doing. So TextCortex is one of the Europe's leading GenAI platforms. We got into the number 14 in the best German software companies of the year and 10th in the best AI software global in 2025. So we have this nice badges to show. We have currently around 2 million users. It's counting and going up, all thanks to organic growth. About the product, about what we are doing. So we are helping you to create agents that you can use it for your knowledge work. There's an example. It's called Hard Spectral, which is it's like a kind of a lawyer that can help you with reading through the contracts that you're using it a lot. I hope the AI is doing the right things over there. But what we are offering is you can create these personas agents, and then you can use it, reuse it with your team over and over again, and that makes things much easier. So you can put your knowledge in there, like Google Drive, OneDrive, and other things. You can add personality and behavior, and all of them is happening inside EU. We also have some numbers regarding how we are helping companies. For every 100 onboard users, they're seeing a productivity gain of 13 new hires, which is really, really important to companies growing. And we have companies like Mahle, which is one of the biggest automotive producers in Germany, and the Italian CERN is also part of us, our users, and some other consulting companies that you might have not heard about, but they're also really strong in what they're doing, and they're also one of our customers. There's some more logos, and about the product. As you can see, in the past, what users used to do is they go in and search the Google Drive for finding out specific kind of information. But now it's changing. What you need to do is you actually need to connect to your databases, to your Google Drive, Slack, or whatever. And then we go in and search. First of all, of course, we index all the information on an ongoing basis, and then you can ask the question to us. Basically, it's similar to the assistants that we have today, ChatGPT and others, Claude AI. But when we started, we started back in 2021, it was a really big concept, so we got a head start over there with the connections and integrations, and we are still using our advantage there. And this is how we're working with TextCortex, basically, and that's how the product works. That's some more details about the products, and we also have some other features. So now, currently, the companies have a growing number of content within their companies. There's a lot of files being generated, but these files are new. There's a lot of information locked inside this, but it's never really easy to find this information. So what we're doing is we are also creating metadata out of them, and then you can search through the keywords, or you can even find out what could be the department that file is coming from if you didn't put it anywhere. Or what is the access level? So you can set up access levels, and you can also guess from the file what is, if it's a confidential file, or it's just a file that everyone can access. That's also another positive side that we are offering to our users. Yeah, so there's like more things about the product, but like I'll just like keep it short. Another thing is like the aggregation aspect of course. Companies most of the time they don't want to get locked into like one provider, and they would like to be able to switch to different AI providers without switching their all these knowledge connections and integrations and everything. So that's also like showing like you can reach out to many different providers, and then you can test it and see which works best for you with specific prompts. So I will pass this. Yeah, I think like everyone got the idea because everyone's CTOs, and most probably you're very technical, and this is more like a sales deck, so it's like kind of simple. But I guess like everyone got the idea. We connect a lot of databases and get you the information you need. Thanks again to Google for inviting, by the way. And this slide maybe not the right thing to show, but like anyways, if you wait to Google, but Google is also changing how they research experiences. When we made the product, I think it was a long time ago. Yeah, so it is also changing. Like you can also use it for web search, and you also have some lawyers actually they're using it for. We have like juristic, what do you call like databases. They're also using it for researching cases from different sources. That's also one very useful use case.